Good morning, students. Welcome to the session. Students, in the previous session, we completed lesson 3. So, today we will begin with lesson 4. So, here are the words. The first word we have is alert. Alert is an adjective. We have discussed a lot about adjectives, how to use, how to place. So, coming to the meaning, it means to do something with full attention, to be attentive, awake, or vigilant. If you do something attentively with full attention, that kind of a quality is called alert. Let's see in the example how to use it. Security guards must be alert all the time. You can see we are talking about somebody's quality. Similarly, in the next sentence, we find we must be alert to avoid COVID-19 infection. Here also we are talking about the quality of a person, what kind of quality is required to avoid the infection. So we must be alert. Synonyms we already have talked about: attentive, awake, vigilant. These are all the words having similar meaning to alert. And the antonyms of alert are careless. If you are not attentive, it means you are careless, inattentive, unaware. The next word we have is appalling. It is pronounced as appalling. Appalling is also an adjective which means causing shock or dismay. If something is very horrific, dreadful, ghastly, or gruesome, if you are frightened to see something, that kind of quality is called appalling. Let's see how to use it in the sentence. It was appalling to see the bottom of the valley from the top. When you are at a height, when you are at the top of a mountain and see, if you see the gorge or the bottom of the valley, what kind of experience do you have? You have an appalling experience because you are afraid, you are horrified. It's a dreadful sight. Prisoners were kept in appalling conditions in British India. Here we also have used to describe the dreadful or horrific conditions in which the prisoners were kept in British India. Now, talking about the antonyms, if something is not gruesome, it's something if something is not dreadful, frightening, that is of course pleasant. So pleasant is an antonym. Comforting, calm, wonderful, we may use these words as the antonyms of appalling. Now, moving to the next word, we have clad. Clad is a verb which means to cover something or something enveloped or being clothed. It simply means to wear a cloth, a piece of cloth, dress, or if something is covered, that is also called clad. Let's see in the example how to use it. She was clad in a beautiful sari in her birthday. Clad is the past participle form of cloth. Cloth means to wear a piece of cloth. So clothed, clad, clad is the past and past participle form of cloth. Cloth. So she was clad. This is in passive form. She was clad in a beautiful sari in her birthday. Here we have used clad in the past participle form of cloth, means to wear. So she was clad means she was wearing a beautiful sari. Let's see in the next example. The mountain peaks are usually clad in snow during winter. You may have seen or you may have read ab- about the mountain peaks in the winter, that these are covered with snow due to snowfall. So clad means covered, enveloped. Antonyms are uncovered or undressed. If someone is not wearing a dress, means undressed, or uncovered. If something is exposed or kept in open, that is uncovered. The next word we have is climax. Climax is a noun. It's an abstract noun, which means the most intense or exciting or the most important part of something, or something is at its peak or highest or zenith position. Like if we talk about the present scenario, unemployment has reached its climax in this pandemic because most of the people have to leave their job or new jobs are not being created. So unemployment has reached its climax in this pandemic, means it has reached to its peak or zenith, or it has reached its highest level. This is one meaning. The other meaning is the most important or exciting part of something happening. Like the movie has a long fighting scene in the climax. Usually the most important scene or part or incident of a movie comes at the end. That is called climax of a movie or play or drama. So this is how we can use climax as a noun. The antonyms are anticlimax, nadir. This is called nadir. The next word we have is divert. Divert means to change the course or direction of anything. This is one meaning. The other meaning is to distract or detract from your goal or ambition. I think it's clear. Let's see in the example how to use divert for these two meaning. Bad company diverts us from our goal. So here divert has a meaning to distract or detract. When we are in bad company, we do not focus to our goal. So we divert. We are distracted. Similarly, for the first meaning, which is to change the direction, the traffic route has been diverted due to an accident taken place yesterday. So here diverted means to change the direction, to change the route, to turn in the in another direction. Antonyms are if you are not diverted, you it means you are focused. So antonym is focus. The next word we have is eloquent. Eloquent. Eloquent is an adjective which is used to describe a person who is good in speaking or writing, who can convince others with his speech or with her speech, who is expressive, potent, or well spoken. We can also use frank, outspoken for eloquent. Silence is more eloquent than words. This is the proverb, which means sometimes your silence expresses more than the words. Next example describes it more clearly. Our Prime Minister is an eloquent speaker. We all have heard our Prime Minister speaking a number of times, and we see that he is an eloquent speaker. The antonyms that can be used for eloquent are inarticulate or introvert. The next word we have is episode. Episode is also an abstract noun, which means an event or action occurring as part of a series of events or actions. If a number of actions happen as a series, so one part of that series of action is called an episode. Like in TV serials, we watch one episode or two episodes in a day. Episode also means a small part of anything, like a small event of your life and a small event of a series of events. Let's try to understand it in the example. I haven't watched any episodes of Ramayana. Here it is very clear. Episodes means one part of the whole TV program of Ramayana. Similarly, schooling is an episode of everyone's life. We have many episodes in our life: schooling, then college, then jobs, then marriage. So, schooling is just one part of our life or one episode of our life. The next word we have is falter. Falter is a verb which means to lose strength or momentum while you are doing something. You are not steady, you are not keeping your momentum. To stammer while speaking, when we stammer, when we hesitate, that is also falter. To move unsteadily, when we walk and we do not walk in a proper manner, we are unsteady, that is also falter. To stumble, let's see how to use it in the sentence. The drunken man faltered in the way. A drunken person cannot walk properly, so he faltered in the way. He faltered during the interview in nervousness. Many times it happens when we are nervous, we falter. We are not able to speak fluently. We hesitate. So that is also called falter. The antonyms we may use for falter are maintain, stabilize, or steady. The next word we have is infinite. Infinite is an adjective which means limitless, endless, in space or size, which something which is impossible to measure or calculate, something which has no limit, like the sky has no limit. So we may say the sky is infinite, the universe is infinite, God has infinite power as well as mercy. Antonyms are limited, something which is limited, confined, which can be measured, so measurable, or finite. The last word of today's session is provocation. Provocation is a noun. Again, it's an abstract noun, which means deliberate action or a speech that makes someone angry, that stimulates or goad someone. When you speak such kind of words or you behave in such a manner that makes somebody angry or that stimulates somebody, that is called provocation. Let's see in the example. Ravish can turn violent at a little provocation. If you just say him, can you fight with your friends? This is a little provocation that you gave to Ravish and he is ready. So Ravish can turn violent at a little provocation. Similarly, we have another sentence. His racial speech caused a great provocation among the citizens. If somebody speaks or comments on race, community, that is a kind of provocation for the people, for the citizens to protest. So here we finish our today's session. I hope it's clear to understand. the meaning and the example, and you will be able to make your own sentences from these words. Thank you, students.